DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, balloverseas.com, Overseas Basketball Blueprint. Step 2 in the blueprint process is you must get game experience. I want you to understand that doing your thing in an empty gym or doing a crossover against some traffic cones or doing a spin move on a folding chair is completely different from getting in the game and doing that against a live human being, especially in a 5-on-5 when it's an official game. When there's a coach watching, there are referees calling calls, and there are fans sitting in the stands. It's a completely different situation than when you're in that empty gym and it's just you and your cameraman and you're putting it on your Instagram. All right, understand you need to get game experience to know what it feels like to get in the game and do your stuff, as opposed to being in an empty gym or being in a controlled environment. A controlled environment is something like practice with your team. You practice with the same 15 players every day. Eventually you're going to get comfortable enough in practice that you'll be doing stuff. Do you have that kind of experience playing in games though? And this is why I remember one summer, I don't think what summer, it's probably around 2010, 2011. I was talking to one of my homeboys who used to be a pro player, but he had started to get into training and coaching. And I was telling him what I had planned for the summer. This is when I'm like in my prime wanting to do my thing. He was like, man, you need to be playing in a league every single night. You need to play in every league in town and just have a game every day. And what we were talking about was me just talking about getting more game experience. I need to get more game reps, or I wanted to get more game reps just to get used to showing my skills in a live game, taking the stuff that I was practicing by myself and actually doing it in a live game against live players. And this is something that a lot of players fall short on. Many players reach out to me and they say things along the lines of, Dre, I played in high school and I haven't played in 4 or 5 years, or I played in college and it's been 3 years since I graduated college. I haven't really played anywhere since then, but I want to give it a shot to play professional basketball overseas. And listen, I understand, and it is possible. And yes, there are players who have made it doing that, but understand you need to shake that rust off completely. You don't get overseas and then start shaking the rust off. You need to shake the rust off to get overseas. Get the game experience. You need to be getting live game repetitions. And understand it is very valuable, it's invaluable to your game to get those live game repetitions so that you know what it feels like to get on that court and show your skills and do your stuff and do the moves and play offense, then play defense, and moving without the ball and communicating with your teammates, and especially playing games that are what we call under the whistle, where there's a coach, so that you can learn how to work within a team structure, not just run up and down the court doing whatever you want, walking back on defense when you don't feel like running. You can't get away with that when there's a coach on the team. You can't get away with it in the pickup game. You can get away with that at the LA Fitness or the Equinox. You can't get away with that overseas or anywhere where there's a coach. And all of you know that if you played anywhere that's ever had a coach. So that's why you got to get the live game repetitions. It is not exactly the same as, again, doing a crossover in an empty gym, not the same as doing a crossover in a live game. So you got to get that game experience so that when you get out there in a 5-on-5, at an exposure camp or at a tryout or at a team invites you to a 2 weeks to work out with the team just to show what you can do, you're ready to do that. And you know what to expect, and you know what's going to be expected of you. And you also know how to run basic sets in basketball, like I've talked about in the previous episodes. You know how to play defense. You know how to be in the right spot defensively when you're not guarding the ball. You know how to communicate with your teammate when a screen is coming. You know how to navigate a pick and roll. All these things you don't get in an empty gym. All these things you do not get playing random pickup with guys who don't know how to play. All these things you don't get playing one-on-one with your homeboys and putting it on the internet. You only get these by playing 5-on-5 structured basketball. And when I say structured, I'm talking about there's a coach. Maybe you're running plays, you have practices. That is what structured basketball looks like. And usually you get that at the scholastic level, high school and college, and you get it at the professional level. Those are pretty much the only places that you get it. Or maybe if you're playing in a pro-am league and there are coaches and y'all actually have some structure there and it's not just throw a bunch of players together, y'all just go out there and do what you want. That's what I've seen in a lot of pro-ams, but you got to decide, you got to judge, have your skill of discernment, use that to know. But the second step in overseas basketball blueprint process is you must get live game experience. It can't just be you knowing that you have skill, and I believe you, and knowing that you can do this and that in an empty gym. I believe you, as the millions of players who can do it who will never play a significant basketball game in their lives. So you got to get experience playing in significant basketball games. College level, semi-pro level, professional exposure camps, trying out for professional teams, and actually playing with professional teams, either playing or getting a tryout or something like that. Those are the levels of significant basketball where there is structure in place. Okay, just showing off your skills in your crossover for peanut gallery commentators on YouTube who don't know anything about structured basketball. They know just as little as you know. All right, that doesn't prove that you can play anywhere because, well, if it did, you'd be playing somewhere. All right, you understand what I'm saying? As I told you in the previous video, there's levels to this shit. All right, the levels to this shit, I explained that hierarchy. Go to school, play. First is play in the street, wherever, online. Then it's playing pickup 5-on-5. Then it's playing rec league under the whistle. Then it's structure with the coaches, high school, college. Then it's the professional level. Those are the levels. All right, there is no deviation from that. So you got to get experience playing at each level so that you're ready to play at the next level. That's the way it works. It's very rare that a player is going to make that jump. If you think you can, I'm not telling you that you can't, but it's rare that it happens. If you think you're the rare talent that can do it, hey, give it a shot. But don't say nobody told you what the levels are. So that is the second level of the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. If you haven't yet gotten the book, the Overseas Basketball Blueprint, the book, make sure you go get this 237-page book. I've already paid for the book. All you do is take care of the shipping at balloverseas.com. Next, we're going to talk about the third step in the Overseas Basketball Blueprint process. Work on your game. Dre all day.